I'm Jada Franson and this is my weekly roundup. 'Tis the season to be terrorised. Yes, so culturally enriched are we here in the UK that the West Midlands Police are tweeting out their very own festive terror vigilance tweets. In and amongst all the festive celebrations, we've been warned to be on our guard and report anything suspicious as we remain on high alert for terror attacks here in the UK. But do not despair, fellow Brits. If you thought that we were alone with this issue, we certainly aren't. The Foreign Office have issued a directive saying that the same can be said for Germany, France, Belgium, Poland, Sweden, Italy, Netherlands, Switzerland, Austria, Czech Republic, Denmark, Norway. I think you get the gist. Our Christmas gift from the British establishment and the corrupt EU is the annual anxiety that we might be the next Berlin Christmas market of 2016 or the Strasbourg Christmas market of 2018. Yes, because they have flooded our nations with immigrants who wish to harm us, we must spend the festive period on high alert. Merry Christmas, everyone. Prince Andrew has cleared up all ambiguity when it comes to his relationship with convicted paedophile and now deceased Jeffrey Epstein.
But you were staying at the house of a convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay. I've gone through this in my mind so many times. At the end of the day, with the benefit of all the hindsight that one could have, it was definitely the wrong thing to do. But at the time, I felt it was the honourable and right thing to do. And I admit fully that my judgment was probably coloured by my tendency to be too honourable.
Yes, maybe like me, you didn't realise. But the reason Prince Andrew remained friends and rubbed shoulders with this nonce is because he's an honourable man. Well, I've heard some excuses in my time, but this one takes the piss. In 2008, Jeffrey Epstein admitted to prostituting minors and was sentenced to 18 months in prison. Can I just say that I don't think that was nearly long enough. But upon his release in 2010, he and his good pal, Prince Andrew, were reunited once again. Not only were they pictured taking a nice leisurely stroll through Central Park, Prince Andrew was also pictured inside Epstein's Manhattan mansion. All of this controversy comes after Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his prison cell on the 10th of August this year. He was facing trial for the sex trafficking of children, and there were some pretty big names that were implicated in this sex racket. Then, lo and behold, he's found dead. Look, I'm not saying he didn't kill himself, but
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself!
Prince Andrew has done his bit and given his BBC interview and told the world that he admits he let the side down.
The problem was the fact that once he had been convicted,
You stayed with him.
I stayed with him, and that's the bit that as it were, I kick myself for on a daily basis, because it was not something that was becoming of a member of the royal family. And we try and uphold the highest standards and practices, and I let the side down.
Yeah, there's an understatement. Not only did you let the side down, but you let the country down. And you've embarrassed the royal family, whom I'm very fond of. All the sorries and the regrets in the world don't make up for the fact that you remain friends with a paedophile. What is it they say? You can tell a lot about a person by the company they keep. A US federal judge has said no to ISIS bride Hoda Muthana returning to the US. New Jersey-born Muthana left America in 2014 to join ISIS.
There's one tweet in particular where you talk about calling on Americans to do drive-by shootings, to rent a truck and drive over people, spilling their blood, and you say, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, go out and do it.
Again, my lawyer told me not to speak about these things.
Shortly after she arrived in Syria, she burnt her US passport and married not one, not two, but 3 ISIS fighters. After President Donald Trump and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo saying, absolutely no way is she coming back, she is a terrorist, she insisted that she is sorry and deserves a second chance.
I don't get the heartstrings deal. This is a woman who inflicted enormous risk on American soldiers, on American citizens. She's a terrorist. She's not coming back. President Trump made clear that she wasn't coming back. She's not a U.S. citizen. She is not entitled to U.S. citizenship, and she's not coming back to our country to pose a threat.
Just like Britain's very own ISIS bride, the grinning Shamima Begum, Mathana is much the same. This doesn't look like remorse to me.
The President of the United States himself said that you're not welcome back to America. What would you say to him?
I would tell him to study the legal system because apparently I am allowed back. I have papers, I have citizenship.
In her latest interview, Mathana has said, I want my son to be around his family. I want to go to school. I want to have a job and I want my own car. Aww, is that all you want? Well, maybe you should have thought about that before you put the lives of US service personnel and innocent US citizens at risk by joining a terror group. My message to Hoda, Shamima, and anyone else who has left our wonderful countries to go and live in an Islamic hellhole in pursuit of a better life. You've made your bed. Now enjoy lying in it because we don't want you back. A former Labour MP who was chosen to stand as a Lib Dem parliamentary candidate has been deselected. You want to know why? Because he's a Christian. Yep, because Rob Flello, a practicing Catholic, voted against abortion and gay marriage legislation, the Liberal Democrats unashamedly stated, we do our best to screen candidates in our approval process. In this case, it only really became clear over the past few hours how greatly his values diverge from ours. So, just for the record then, the Liberal Democrats are anti-Christian, anti-democracy.
We must stop Brexit. We are crystal clear. A Liberal Democrat majority government will revoke Article 50 on day one.
Anti-men, especially white men. But for any of you lunatics out there who are still considering voting for them, don't worry, because here's what they're not against. They're not against removing all immigration control, having free movement and flooding Great Britain full of lovely immigrants. Oh, and we can't forget the £100 billion climate fund that they've pledged to keep poor little Greta happy. Obviously, they're going to pull that out of the magical, mystery, socialist money pot that doesn't exist. So let's finish today on a positive note. We all know the BBC is renowned for its bias and anti-Christian values. A 2016 report compiled by Akil Ahmed, a practicing Muslim who ran the BBC's Religion and Ethics department, claimed the BBC was too Christian. Subsequently, the BBC put a Muslim in charge of religious shows. In a welcome break from the BBC norms, a 93-year-old D-Day veteran, Harry Billinge, praised God live on air before BBC presenters told him, we're out of time. The war hero who raised £22,442, that's £1 for every man and woman who died serving under British command during the Battle of Normandy. Harry did this by collecting donations for the Normandy Memorial Trust on St Austell High Street, near his house in Cornwall. And here is Harry, praising God.
King George VI, my sovereign that I served under, all my medals here, George VI was a wonderful man. George VI was a kind man, an understanding man, and he used to have a day of prayer. It's a pity really we don't have a month of prayer because we've got so much to thank God for. They have got no time for God, and I don't think we shall ever come round. Turn back, O man, forswear thy foolish ways. We've been stupid. We're so clever we could blow one another up. But you don't love one another. That's the strongest thing on earth. Love is stronger than death, and he's coming back. Our Lord Jesus said he'd be back, and he will.
Harry.
And it says in the Revelation, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. And that's what I believe too. I believe it. They mucked about with the creed. The Church of England have mucked about with all the services. They used to be, the Nicene Creed, that's that statement of faith, was drawn up 325 AD in the Council of Nicaea. It's therefore called the Nicene Creed. It starts off with, I believe. They've altered that now to we believe.
We're out of time.
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
You know, it's just the
Good
joy.
job of it. I might get arrested. My wife says to me, you want to be careful.
Just when I thought I couldn't be any more grateful to this man, thank you and God bless you, Harry Billinge.